Hi, welcome to this brief video on how to use the Surgeon General's My Health Portrait tool. There are two versions of this tool, as you can see on the screen right here. One of them is a printable PDF, and if you click on it, you will see that this version is available in English and in Spanish. I'm going to click on the English version so you can take a look. It is a trifold type of form that you can print and fill out with your clients. The advantage of this version is that you don't have to have a computer in front of you or internet access when you are working with your clients. You can just have a bunch of these copies handy and fill them out by hand. The disadvantage is that this version only lists 6 health conditions for you to focus on. You will need to fill in additional health and conditions by yourself. The web-based version, which you can access by clicking here, the web tool, has a different set of limitations. It has 4 languages, and you need a computer and you need internet access to use it. One of the advantages of this tool is that if you have a computer, you can have the family history and you can visibly see a better representation of both the family tree, and as you'll see, there is a table also. So in that case study, we have a client who is a 38-year-old Latin American woman born on the 4th of July in 1979. We are going to fill out the family history for this woman. After you click on Create a Family History, you will see this screen that says your personal information. Remember, you here means your client. So let's start by filling out this information for this client of yours, and I'm going to call her Sophia. I know that Sophia is a female, and I know she was born on July 4th, 1979. And I know that she was not a twin, so I click on No as a default. I also know that she was not adopted, so I just leave that blank. I don't know her height or her weight, so I don't fill that in. I do know that she is ethnically a Latino woman, so I will click on Hispanic or Latino. Then on the bottom of the screen, click Next, and it will now ask me about members of her immediate family. So how many brothers does she have? She has 2 brothers and has 1 sister. No sons, no daughters that we know about. And we know that her mother has 1 brother and 2 sisters. Her father has 1 brother and 2 sisters. Once we enter those numbers and click Save, the software will give us a list of all the people in Sophia's family, and we should fill in the information for everybody as detailed as possible. Let's put in the information for Sophia's father. What do we have? We don't have his name. We know he is male, of course. We do know he is living. And according to the case study, it says he is 63 years old. Then, if we have the information for Sophia's father's race or ethnicity, we will click on that. But we don't have that information here, and we shouldn't make any assumptions. We should ask Sophia, if possible, to get that information. Sophia's mother is 61 years old and was diagnosed with breast cancer at 41, but is now disease-free. So we fill in that information for her mother. Sophia's sister is 40 years old, and her brothers are 26 and 33 years old. None of them have any known conditions. Now we fill in the information for everybody else in the family according to the information we have. On Sophia's father's side of the family, Sophia's paternal grandfather and grandmother both died at age 80 from age-related problems. Because there are no age-related problems listed on the Surgeon General's tool, we will add this in using the Other, Add New category, and type in age-related problems. Once this label is created, it will be listed as an option when entering other family members' conditions. For instance, after entering Sophia's paternal grandfather's information, I will enter her paternal grandmother's information. You now see age-related problems as an option under the cause of death drop-down menu. For Sophia's father's siblings, her aunt's ages are 56 and 59, and her uncle at age 65 has no known conditions. On Sophia's mother's side of the family, her grandfather was murdered at age 46. Murdered is not listed on the Surgeon General's tool, so we will create this using the Other, Add New Category, and type in murdered. For Sophia's maternal grandmother, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer at age 50 and died at age 52 due to unknown reasons. Therefore, I will put unknown disease as her cause of death. One of her maternal aunts has no age information, but was diagnosed with breast cancer at age 47. Her other aunt is 65 years old and has no known conditions. Her uncle is 63 years old and was diagnosed with invasive ductal breast cancer at age 62. Once the information has been entered, I can save the family tree either to my computer or to an online account. I can also view a diagram and table of this family history. And here is the family history as a family history tree. And here below is a chart, a table of information where you can see everybody for who you have information listed here with their conditions and ages of diagnosis or death. What's interesting about the family tree also is that if you come up to here to diagram and table options, you can click on that. It will give you some interesting options. For instance, you can select a disease or condition to highlight in the table. So, for example, we are suspicious that there is cancer, a pattern of cancer in the family. So let's click on breast cancer. It will highlight the disease or condition with a special color on the tree, so it is easy to see. So you can select or deselect these boxes to show personal information or etc. to show names. I'm going to leave them all clicked, and I'm going to update the report, and you can see that the family tree will change. Now we can see a little bit clearer that there seems to be a pattern of cancer. We have one case here of cancer in the male, the female, and the mother. And here is Sophia as a person. So on the mother's side of the family, there appears to be a pattern of cancer. Specifically, as we know, her uncle has had cancer, so there is a pattern there. So what is important for you to remember once you have done a family tree like this with your client? First, this tool is not complex. It is not difficult to do. Familiarize yourself with this tool. Play with it a little and see how easy it is to use. Second, if you see a pattern such as this one here, you should encourage her to go and discuss this pattern, which she found in her family history, with a healthcare provider. Third, encourage Sophia to discuss her family history with other members of her family. She might be able to elicit a little bit more detail of what happened, what's going on, and that might be useful information for her to have to take to her provider and talk to him or her about this pattern. 4. When you see a pattern such as this one, use a table of lifestyle recommendations that we have provided you with for this course. Look at the recommendations made for the prevention of breast cancer, and you might discuss these recommendations in terms of lifestyle and behavioral changes that your client might engage in order to protect herself from breast cancer. Fifth and most important point, Remember, however, it is not our job as community health workers to substitute for doctors. We may assess if Sophia has any risk for breast cancer, detect these patterns, and provide lifestyle recommendations. But we also want to give her the tools and encourage her to talk to her healthcare provider about it. So once you familiarize yourself with this tool, you will see how helpful it can be. And as you practice, you will be learning exactly what your role is in empowering your clients with family health history information.